Variables are one of the most important things to understand in Voiceflow. With variables, you're able to set one thing in your build that's going to be able to impact the entire build going forward. Hey, I'm Mike, CTO of Flowbridge, which is a tool that allows you to connect Voiceflow to social channels such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm here to show you today some of the basics of Voiceflow. This time we're going to be tackling variables. So what is a variable exactly? Let me put it this way. A variable is like a box that you can give to someone. The box itself is labeled, such as language experience. So a person can have a language experience, which can be basic or advanced. Maybe they're very good at the language, or they're just new to the language itself. And you can give this box to everyone. So someone has a box which has this language difficulty with basic inside of it, and the next guy might have it with advanced, and everyone has this box, but it just changes based on what is inside of the box. So the next time you see this person, you can just check, hey, what is inside the box? And then you'll instantly be able to understand how you need to speak to this person, if it's with advanced or basic language. So what does it actually look like when putting that into an AI agent with Voiceflow? Let's jump into that. So we have this very basic Voiceflow build right now, where we're going to explain that we're going to be explaining very difficult concepts, and a person gets to choose from two buttons if it's either basic or advanced that they want to receive this information in. So without variables, this is what that looks like. We have two separate flows that are almost the exact same thing, but what changes is that we're now showing the actual difficulty, or setting the actual difficulty from within the AI step itself. So rather than doing this, we're going to want to use variables, because if we want to change something now, right, we only have 2 of these, but imagine if we have 5 or 10 different options. We want to go into the AI step, and we're going to say, oh, I want to change the in to using. Now we're going to have to go into this other one, and we're going to also have to change it to using, and then we're going to have to go through all the 10 that we have and make that very simple change each and every time. So you can imagine that if these builds get very complex with all these different routes, you're going to now have to change it in all these different places, which is just going to be a difficult thing to do. So let's try to use variables in this case. Let's remove these steps over here, and let's move this a bit to the bottom so that's out of the way. And let's set the variables on the buttons. Let's go into the button itself, and let's set a new action, which is going to be set variable. Now we're going to make a new variable called lang exp, which we already have here. You can just create a new variable if you want to, and then set the name of the variable right here, but we already have one, so let's go for lang exp, language experience, and we're going to set this one to basic. Be sure to add the double quotes because we're trying to set a text here or a string, and thus you need to actually set these double quotes to ensure that it stays a text. And so now we'll go into the second one and also make a new action. We're going to set variable, same thing, lang exp. I'm going to set this one to advanced. Ensure the double quotes. There we go. So we have these two now. What are we doing now exactly? Well, since we have this in a variable, we're only going to need one of these. So let's push both of these results into the next block. Great, we're going to explain quantum physics. Now let's go ahead and grab this block as well, put that into the block. And this time, rather than saying do it in very basic English language, we're going to replace the basic with a variable called lang exp, which is what we made just now. There we go. So what it's going to translate into is explain the concept of quantum physics using very lang exp. So depending on what you clicked, lang exp is going to be either basic or advanced. So very basic English language. Don't use more than 3 sentences. And at the end, we're going to confirm that's quantum physics in basic terms. And we're going to change the basic once again to lang exp, so that it uses the variable to confirm what we just did. Let's just remove T right there and add it there. Perfect. So let's see what this build looks like now. If we run this and then click run test, it's going to give us the 2 options. Let's say basic in this specific case. And now it's going to explain the concept of quantum physics in basic terms. And you can see the quantum physics in basic terms. So it's using that actual basic variable to manipulate the outcome of the AI step, as well as the text step that we have over here. So let's go ahead and try the advanced one. So if we go over here and run again, and then run the test, you can see that there's an icon right at the left over here. If we click that, we can actually see all the variables that have been set. We can see this lang exp one that's set to 0 right now. So let's click advanced, and you're going to see that It's going to set this lang exp to advanced. And there we go. We have the actual quantum physics description in advanced now. Quantum physics is a branch of science that explores the behavior of a matter and energy at the fundamental level and blah, 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 blah. Very complex and advanced language being used, as well as the advanced term being shown here. So we're seeing that that variable is actually being set. So right now, we can make as many of these different buttons as we want and set the variable differently and use that variable to manipulate the actual AI outcome and the text outcome here. You can use as many variables as you want, and you can use it as much as you want in the entire build. So there you have it, variables. This time we only use the variable for the language experience, but you could make a variable for anything. Maybe you want to capture the user's name at the beginning and then keep using that name throughout your build. Or perhaps the age or anything that you want. You can store it into a variable and then reference it at any point further along in your build. So that's the basics of variables. You can check out more videos from us. We're going to be releasing way more informational videos about Voiceflow. And you can, of course, also check out FlowBridge, which is a SaaS tool to allow you to connect your Voiceflow builds to social channels like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and make that whole process easy. Please leave a like to the video. That helps us out a lot. And subscribe if you want to learn more about Voiceflow. This has been Mike, and I'll see you next time.